Alright, here's your spoiler's logo. When I put the logo on there, it was 1977 because it would totally fit a 78 or 79, and they didn't know that yet. And as you can see, I drilled a hole in mine by accident. Or not by accident, but before I took the picture. And then if you're going to put it on a 70, make sure it's a late 70, maybe a December of 70 would be a B-van at that point, but it won't fit your 70 A100. So then I took these metal brackets here I mentioned earlier. There's a SKU number. They don't seem to have a real part number anywhere. And then I cut the end off on the blue line and re-drilled a new hole. And those will line up with the spoiler. You'll see your front dog leg, I guess you could call it. And there's your metal bracket bolted to the van, hanging out. This end will go through the spoiler. This end goes through your steel fender. Pretty easy to do. And I put 3 holes in the drop down section of the front spoiler. Held it up, measured it out, held it up, drilled the holes in the body, or front core support as it were, and ran some screws in there, big fat washers on them to hold them, but using small screws like I said before, that way if you ever had a problem with them coming loose, you could run bigger screws in the holes. Technically there's a rear access here, so you could put nuts and bolts, which we may do after we get the spoiler painted, but right now we're just fitting it. Here's what the spoiler hookup looks like with the little bracket. Of course the rest of the spoiler's hanging down right now, so there's a funny gap, but we'll crawl underneath and fix that in a second. So I get the middle screw and put it in. It lines everything up pretty good. And then what you're going to want to do is watch out for these metal tabs right here. They hang down. You're going to want to catch your spoiler on the side of those tabs so that you don't torque it up and have it bolt or break, but between those tabs and the bumper bolts. Then we torque the middle screw here. Do not screw these screws into the bottom of your radiator. And you grab one of the nuts and bolts assemblies with some washers I've added. Here's the round heads I use. They look good from under the car. There's a little bit of thread sticking up inside of the fender well, which hopefully your fender wells are blacked out and you won't see it anyway. And there's where the fender meets the van, or the spoiler meets the fender. It's kind of tricky to film because of the light, but there's the hardware. We sticking the screw up through the bottom of the spoiler and through our metal bracket we made. Which is a bitch because I have the wheel turned the wrong way. You could turn the wheels outward to make this a lot easier. I'm going to put a nut and washer on there on the top here. Torque those down. And essentially that's it. A couple more screws underneath the core support. And there's how it lines up. Fits pretty good to the bumper. There's a small gap on the end here. Nothing is going to look terrible. Lines up where the fender goes inward and connects up to the spoiler. Fits as good as any fiberglass piece I've seen. And I've installed some old 70s stuff, and this is brand new from Truck and Vans in Ontario. And fits pretty damn well, actually. Fits better than the 70s piece I installed on a 75 B van a couple weeks back. I guess that's it. Give Truck and Vans a call. Order the 70 to 77 front spoiler for the B van. They have a couple different ones, so make sure you get very clear with them before you have them send it which one you want. They have one with fog light holes, and they have one without fog light holes, and then they have one that attaches to the bumper and goes straight down from the bumper, and then this one actually goes to the core support underneath the bumper, which I like to look a little bit better. I guess that's it. Talk to you later.